While all eyes are on Las Vegas and WrestleMania 42 a month from now, we are already looking ahead to WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia, which may or may not happen. And that's what I want to talk about today. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Money Mike. This is Ringside Cinema. And yeah, big news coming out of this weekend is that given the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, the WWE is already having discussions about the future of their Saudi Arabia shows in 2026, as they do have two more shows planned for this year, but also WrestleMania 43 in 2027. So obviously, when it was announced that WrestleMania 43 was heading to Saudi Arabia in 2027, it was not a good reception. Fans did not like this at all, especially given the fact that number one, the Royal Rumble this year was in Saudi Arabia. And the thing that really surprised me was that they announced WrestleMania to take place in Saudi Arabia even before seeing how the Royal Rumble would go. Like you would think the WWE would have waited. Like, hey, let's see how the Royal Rumble goes. Let's see how they can handle one of our major PLEs. But now we're looking at potential replacements due to what is currently going on in the Middle East. And before I dive any further, I'm not going to get into the political aspect of things. If you guys want to do that, hit the comment section below. So I am just going to talk about how this impacts the WWE and their shows in Saudi Arabia and what potentially could replace Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania 43. So the thing that we should be looking at here, and again, granted, WrestleMania 43 is a year away. So it's a little bit different compared to a Formula One race that is happening next month in Saudi Arabia. But it should be noted, I should say, that Formula One has already canceled races in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia that were scheduled to take place April 12th and April 19th of next month. Now, again, I will say, WWE has a whole year to try to figure out what they're going to do. I would imagine, compared to F1, where F1 has to make a quick and rash decision based on the safety of their drivers, the teams, the crews, that, hey, we're not going to race there because of what's going on. We're not going to risk our driver safety. With the PLEs still to come in June and November, which I would imagine those would be Crown Jewel in the fall, and then potentially King of the Ring or Night of Champions in June if we do go off of last year's PLE schedule. And so I do think that if the WWE is going to relocate a show, I think we're going to hear the news about King and Queen of the Ring, Night of Champions, whatever they want to do, that being the first show to be relocated due to the fact that everything that is going on in the Middle East, obviously for safety of their talent, the crew, and everybody at WWE, it would be the best to start a plan B, right? We know Triple H, he loves his plan B, but you have to look at having a plan B for Night of Champions, for Crown Jewel. We know they ran Crown Jewel in Australia. We know Night of Champions, King of the Ring, that can go anywhere. Basically, they don't need it to be a Saudi show. But when you're looking at the granddaddy of them all, the showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania 43, where do you put that show? And no, not Las Vegas, please. We do not need a third straight Las Vegas WrestleMania. Because I do look at WrestleMania 43 and I go, well, New Orleans is owed a WrestleMania. Indianapolis is owed a WrestleMania. So those two are the first that come to mind where the WWE can go, you know what? We owe these cities a WrestleMania. So we're going to give them a WrestleMania. And, let's get one of them out of the way, right? We can't do Saudi Arabia. Let's go to a city that we already said is getting a WrestleMania in the future. Now, I do think it would be interesting if they went to New Orleans because Money in the Bank is in New Orleans this year. Now, Money in the Bank is in September, and it's in New Orleans, which was their consolation prize for losing out on WrestleMania this year to Las Vegas again. But I think it would be interesting if New Orleans has Money in the Bank and then WrestleMania next year, and the Money in the Bank winners win the Money in the Bank contract in New Orleans, and then they cash in at the WrestleMania in New Orleans. I think that'd be kind of a very interesting storytelling device. Maybe that's just me. But from a historical standpoint, what about Detroit? The Motor City. Hey, that'd be a great place for the Motor City Machine Guns to win the tag team titles. I'm just saying. But the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania 3, you can induct Hogan versus Andre as the match that goes into the Hall of Fame. And Detroit did host SummerSlam a couple years ago. So, I think they're ready for another WrestleMania. But what about, say, I do think that would be the best thing that WWE can do is to head back to Detroit, even though they would probably have a lot of suitors from other major cities, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, all these big major markets. Maybe they go back to Philadelphia, where WrestleMania 40 was. But again, it's just speculation at this point. But it does seem like this is a real possibility that WrestleMania 43 could be moved to a new location due to real world issues currently ongoing. And with that said, my voice is still kind of recovering from being sick, so I don't want to make this video too long. But I do think this is a very interesting story to watch over the next few months. And whether or not we see WrestleMania 43 be relocated to a new city. So let me know in the comments below, guys. If WrestleMania 43 gets relocated, where would you want to see WrestleMania 43 take place? Again, my choice would be Detroit, just from the historical standpoint of WrestleMania 3. But let me know in the comments below. And go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button, as I do produce weekly wrestling content here on this channel. And I'm planning a big 2026 as I'm heading to WrestleMania. I am heading back to Las Vegas and will be doing and filming a lot more content than I did last year. So you do not want to miss it. So I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.